All right, it is 5:01, so we'll go ahead and get started with tonight's topic. Tonight's topic is Eat Well to Prevent Type 2 Diabetes. And we're going to talk about getting your money's worth from those calories. And Mr. Brent Hallmark is one of our nurse practitioners in our fellowship program, and he's going to lead our talk tonight. So thanks, Brent.
Thanks for having me, and it's always fun doing things like this. So tonight's topic, eat well to prevent type two, is one of the more important topics because if um, if we don't know how to carry this out properly, you can try as hard as you can to lose weight and to get your sugar under control. But if you don't know how to do this, properly, it's going to be hard to gain control over these things. So the phrase there, getting your money's worth from your calories, that's kind of a thing that you can see. A lot of times we want to try to get our money's worth out of the food. So we go to things that are cheaper, like McDonald's or something like that that's convenient, and that's good on certain occasions. But we're talking about getting our money's worth out of the calories. Um, so we want to find foods that are dense in nutrients and vitamins and minerals, uh, that has as many of those attributes as possible for the calories that you're taking in. So if you're taking in 2,000 calories, then you want as much with that 2,000 calories as you can to benefit your body. So that's one of the things that we look at. So to do that, we look at things that are low in calories, low in fat, and low in sugar. Those refined sugars and kind of those empty calories, if you will. So like your bread and desserts and things like that. Uh, we look at how to build a healthy meal. So like I said before, we want to look at things that are lower in calories, but high in those things that we need: the fiber, vitamins, minerals, proteins. So we kind of need to get accustomed to looking for those things and knowing which different food groups or where to get meals that are good value for the calories that we're taking in. Um, it said this on here on the slide, doing a pantry check, and I thought that was a pretty good idea because I went and we cleaned out our pantry, and just looking at all the different food that is in there that is kind of empty calories, was a little surprising to me. So having some of that food that is a good value for the calories that you're taking in, uh, let's get it as available as we can. Have it in our pantry, so that if you need to make just a quick meal, you can run in and grab something out of the pantry that's like that. Um, Even go so far as to putting things like that out on the kitchen island, on the counters, things like that, so that if we're tempted just to grab a quick snack, at least it's a good snack. So that's kind of where we go with that. So, like I say, that's good when we're talking about it, but to know how to do that is is kind of an art, and it relies on using a lot of our different resources to be able to do that. So we do normally go back to eating our plant-based diet. Um, a lot of those diets are some of the more healthy diets. Not to say we can't incorporate meats in the right in the right manner. So that's something good to keep in mind. So this goes over what is a calorie, a pound of weight loss, 3,500 calories. Um, so when I'm looking at the food labels, what I kind of want to keep in mind is this how many calories are in each type of are in fats or in proteins. So 9 calories for fats, 4 calories for proteins, and 4 calories for carbohydrates. So you see the fats are some of the more calorie dense meals that we can get. So I've alluded to this, but what are we thinking by quality food? Uh, quality food is going to be those foods that are good value for our calories. Um, I like this phrase right here: as close to grown as possible, as little processing as we can. So I've heard some people talk about shopping around the perimeter of the grocery stores, and I think that can be true. Here's just some examples of this: nutrient dense salmon, blueberries, kale, shellfish. So here's just a couple of examples. Um, you see the fiber in there, our protein, which meats are definitely on the list on that, but we want to make sure we get our lean meats so that we can take advantage of that value for our calories. And hopefully, if we get a good balanced meal, we can have all of our vitamins and minerals through our meals instead of relying on supplements to try to balance that out. And there again, just low fat and low sugar. All right, so that's a good example of a good plate. 2/3 of that is going to be some good lean proteins and good vegetables and things like that, and then we have a smaller portion that is that kind of starchy uh, uh, potatoes and things like that. Here again, that's just some more examples of kind of how we want to divide out our plates. Uh, Lots of different resources for that. Um, I have here just looking through some of my diabetes things. The carbohydrates should be anywhere from 45 to 60% of our diets. Um, but so everybody's kind of celebrating 40 up to 60% for carbohydrates, but keep in mind that that's not going to come from sugary or refined grains. In fact, very few of those should come from that. Should be whole grains, fruits, vegetables, like we say, as close to grown as possible, and that's where we get that percentage. Um, Proteins, 25 to 35% of our diets. Then again, we're looking for lean cuts of beef, fish, poultry. Um, if you're kind of looking more for a vegetarian diet, there's other great sources of protein for that as well. And then our good dietary fats, looking between 20 to 35% of our diet. But just kind of keep an eye out for those trans fats and saturated fats because that's kind of what we need to stay away from on that. So here are just some kind of examples of the things that I've went over right here. I'm not going to read all that, but just some good examples of good quality food right there. Um, okay, so here we go. That breaks it down a little further. Um, and kind of looking at how we cook the meals, baked and try to stay away from you know fried or anything that adds extra calories. Trying to stay away from cooking in a lot of butter and things like that. So that actually looks like a pretty good meal right there. Okay, so this is that looks like just a worksheet right there. but kind of choosing your different meals on there. So it's just important that we get good at picking our meals and kind of knowing how much of one thing that we need. That way we can uh, make that a habit. Um, that always helps. One thing that I kind of seen with a lot of this is in our culture we don't really it's not the norm for us to eat good. Um, and in fact, it's we think it's odd or weird that we see somebody eating a vegetarian meal or a healthy meal, and so you see that in a restaurant, and it just kind of catches you by surprise. The normal thing is the hamburgers, fries, and all the bad things. So it's important for us to kind of make the good, healthy uh, food, good quality food, the normal for us, and the other food just something that you might do on occasion. Here's just a sheet with your action plan. Um, Kind of be thinking about that plan, and any goals and anything you set. Just make sure that they are realistic for you. But other than that, let's see here. I'd run across some things on that. Myplate.gov, that's a good one, and then USDA.gov. Um, they've got a ton of different resources, little interactive resources for how to plan your meals and what would be good and not good. And I think they even have an app where you can plan your shopping around the grocery stores as well. So
I think that is some very useful information there, Brent. And it is important that we do get good quality calories out of the things that we eat, and not waste them on things all the time that are not really helping us to reach our goal of controlling our diabetes or preventing type 2 diabetes. And another important point that you made is that, we are supposed to have those carbohydrates, but it needs to be in the form of those good complex carbohydrates that our body burns off slower, and makes our body use more of that excess fat and glucose up that we have stored. And so those are all very good points. And then you gave some wonderful information there on the myplate.gov, and you can go to the CDC as well. There's lots of good information out there on, kind of how to fix your plate, like Brent was showing us in those examples there. Um, so if everyone would just remember to send in your weight and your minutes of activity. We are now tracking that every week, your weight and your minutes of activity. Whenever you get a chance, and you can email them to diabetes prevention at nmhs.net, and we will be tracking all of that. Like I said, we submit that to the CDC. No names are used. It's just to help us continue to track what we're doing, and to get acknowledgement from it for the CDC, actually. So we will see everyone again next Tuesday night at 5 p.m. And unless anyone has any questions, we will talk to you next week.